Hello and welcome back to another episode of Between Two ASICs. I'm your host, Tatum TurnUp, and today I have Vivek Ramaswamy,
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy, yep.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
He's apparently running for president. I just figured this out right before this interview started, so I'm extremely nervous, and there's a lot of men in suits around looking at me. So I'm going to try not to screw up, make any sudden movements. Vivek, thank you for being here.
Good to be on, man.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about your campaign. What do you stand for? I literally had no idea until 5 minutes ago that you were running for president.
Well, now you do, and I'm glad to be on. So I'm running for president. I'm the first millennial ever to run for the GOP nomination for U.S. president. And I'm doing it because the next generation of Americans has lost their sense of civic identity, civic pride, national identity. You ask most people my age, your age, what does it mean to be an American? You get a blank stare in response. Kind of like that I'm getting from you right now. That's right. So I think that's a problem. And I think that we need to answer what it means to be an American, give a vision of American national identity that runs so deep that it dilutes the poison to irrelevance. And I think part of that identity is grounded in our self-confidence, in our pursuit of the unknown. We're the pioneers, we're the explorers. It's part of what brought me to a Bitcoin conference. They're the pioneers of our time, mining for Bitcoin. That's great. Thomas Jefferson would be doing that if he were alive today. That's the spirit of national pride that we need to revive in this country again, rather than apologizing for everything we do that allows us to be successful.
So you think Thomas Jefferson would be a Bitcoin miner?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he'd have like a white wig and lasers in his eyes, yeah.
Might do some Photoshop and make a new profile picture.
I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah, I'll be in touch. I might send you something. Someone told me that you had have this idea of raising the voting age. Is that correct?
It's half the policy.
Half the policy? What's the other half?
Well, I'd say I'd take the voting age from 18 to 25, but still let you vote at 18, as long as you pass the same civics test that an immigrant has to pass to this country. Every immigrant, even if somebody's lived in this country for 10 years, paid taxes, still has to pass a civics test in order to vote. If you're 18 and you want to vote before the age of 25, you have to either do that or at minimum serve in the military or as a first responder for 6 months. And you know what? The voting age only came down to 18 in 1971 in the context of the military draft. So this is actually relatively recent. And so what I've said is, if you want to vote, great. Sounds good. Either live as an adult for a number of years in the country before you vote. If not, at least know something about the country, the same thing immigrants have to know. And if not that, then serve the country for 6 months. So that was my position there.
So I have to study up on politicians and then also study for a test until I'm 25.
To know about the Constitution. Like, here's an example. Here's an example of a question is, who runs the executive branch of the government? Or what branch of the government does the president lead?
George Washington, first answer.
Well, it would be the U.S. president who's running the executive branch. But that's good. Now you know.
Can I get half credit for that?
Now
one?
you know. You know, I think we can give you a second try.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
All right. Yeah,
I'm open to that.
I'll do some.
I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do it.
I appreciate
you can
that.
do this thing. And then, how old are you, man?
25 now,
You're
so I don't have to take
you're
any
good.
more.
You don't have to take any more. Why have you been studying? You've lived as you're a mature adult.
You're
you know how to
right.
make your choices.
I know how to make choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I look like I need to?
I think.
Don't answer that, please.
Yeah.
So, what else do you stand for on just cultural values and the evolving, just society that we're living in?
I like economic growth.
This episode is sponsored in part by Blockstream Jade. The Jade is a open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin and Bitcoin layer 2 assets on Liquid, such as stablecoins and security tokens. The Jade comes with a full color display and a camera, so you can scan and verify addresses with ease, and also sign air gap transactions. There's a lot going on in here. You can also use it as a multi-factor authentication device, and you can use it with mobile or desktop compatible wallets such as Spectre, Sparrow, or Blockstream Green. Really love these things, love how they come in different colors as well. You can get a Blockstream Jade today by going to store.blockstream.com, and if you use code Tatum TurnUp, you will get 10% off, and you'll also get this nifty little toy. Thanks so much, Blockstream, for sponsoring this episode. Let's get back.
I think that bubble needs to burst a little bit, and we need to actually revive freedom and excellence and the pursuit of excellence in this country. So when you talk about culture, that's what I'm interested in.
You really want to be Jerome Powell's boss, don't you?
Well, I want Jerome Powell's boss to be something in the private sector so he can find real work in the private sector, rather than the government work that he has to have found today. I want a new Jerome Powell. And so in January 2026 or in early 2026, if I'm elected in 2025, first year in, I'd get to appoint a new chairman of the Federal Reserve. And I think the right answer is going to be somebody who believes that the Fed should stabilize the US dollar instead of trying to play financial god by managing unemployment in the economy, which, by the way, they've done a disastrous job of anyway.
Sounds kind of like me. Do you think I have a shot?
But you said you're 25, right?
Yeah?
Then we're good. Yeah. You're in the running.
Awesome.
I appreciate that.
Tatum TurnUp for the Fed chair. Jerome Powell, I'm coming for you. So to round this out, tell me about why you're at a Bitcoin conference. What does Bitcoin and the President of the United States have? How's that relationship work? What do you want to do with that for the country?
I think we all have a role to play.
Logistics can be the worst. I mean, who's excited to figure out how to move ASIC miners from Asia to the US, or get data center containers across the country to teams on the ground within a short time frame, or book cranes and teams to unload facility infrastructure equipment? Well, worry no longer and look no further than Compass Mining's door-to-door competitively insured global logistics service. Email Compass Mining today at logistics@compassmining.io for your free quote.
So I thought rather than doing some sort of video address or anything like that, I get to show up and meet people like you.
I'm really sorry for that. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate it, man.
I really don't know why you agreed to it, but that's awesome either way. This is a really big guest of mine. Woo. Hopefully we get sponsored.
Good luck with that.
This is Tatum TurnUp with Between Two ASICs. Stay tuned for next episode. We have Joe Biden coming on. Thanks for watching. Real awkward, real uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's going to be the worst interview you've ever done. The idea is you reluctantly agreed to this.
Okay, got it.
But of course, at the end,
And I don't have to answer any questions.
I mean, you can answer them however you want,
Okay, got it.
really,
That's good.
or don't.
Yeah. Maybe you will.
Hey, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. You do a good job, man.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
This guy he knows how to do it.
Thank you.
You got a good
Oh,
niche
can I get that mic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pause.